Hello, my name is Stephen Hoffman, and I'm the Advocacy and Outreach Manager for Voice of Salam, an organisation dedicated to both interfaith work and human rights work. Today I'm going to talk to you about Time to Talk, which is taking place today. It's an initiative run across the world, including here in the UK, which aims to raise awareness about mental health conditions and give people the confidence to speak about their own battles with their mental health. I believe this is really crucial, given that 1 in 4 people in the UK suffer from a mental health condition. Now, this is an issue close to my heart because I am one of those 1 in 4. From the age of 21, I fought an ongoing battle with clinical depression. It started in my final year of uni, when I broke down in a library in January 2011. I can remember it like it was yesterday. I'd worked myself to the bone, I was in a bad situation with my house, and I was trying to do so many things at once to distract myself from what felt to me like my world was coming apart. And it all got too much. I recall bursting into tears in a library because I just couldn't think. I couldn't read this book. I couldn't write. Everything was so black. And I walked out of the library and I went onto the pavement and I looked at the road and I seriously considered doing something incredibly stupid. Then I phoned my dad. Now, my dad rushed up from London to see me in Leeds University and probably saved my life. I had to have my university course extended, but Leeds University were incredibly understanding. And I'm glad to say that I got a 2-1 for my degree, despite having it delayed. The problem is I didn't properly deal with it though. I was one of these people who thought, men are meant to be the strong and silent type, showing any weakness is wrong, and you shouldn't cry, you shouldn't show your emotions, you shouldn't talk about issues like mental health, you should just get it all together. So I didn't discuss it. I didn't talk about it outside of my family, but it was always there in the background, gnawing away at me. And a year after that experience, it was on and off. And I kept not talking about it. And you know what? I actually then told my boss about it. And he said to me, I wish you had said. I have family who've suffered from depression, anxiety, and a range of mental health conditions. It's nothing to be ashamed about. You wouldn't be ashamed of having a broken leg. And we should treat those who have mental health conditions the same way we treat those with physical health conditions. No difference whatsoever. Then I started talking a bit more to people about it, but I didn't deal with the underlying causes. I was still running away from it. And it all came to a head 2 years ago. I was treated badly by a boss, and I won't go into details about that here. But I remember I had a similar experience to what happened to me in the library 7 years ago. I burst into tears on the train on the way back from work. I somehow rallied to get myself to my house in Bronsbury Park at the time. I called my parents and they rushed up. They probably again stopped me doing something stupid. For the next year, I managed it. Just about. I was having 3 good weeks, 1 good week. 3 good weeks, 1 bad week. But you can't live your life like that. It's a recipe for disaster. And lo and behold, in May 2018, my world came crashing down like never before. It was all too much. Everything was covered in darkness for me. I felt like my brain was working against me. I cared for nothing. I was angry with myself. What was wrong with me? Why was I such a failure? Why was I the illness? I stayed in my room at my mum's for 3 weeks. I wouldn't talk to anyone. I wasn't properly eating. I hid away like a hermit. And then my parents, bless them, called a crisis team in Hertfordshire And they saw me, they tried to get me out of my shell. I just couldn't do it. So about 2 weeks later, I ended up admitting myself into a mental health ward. And what I saw there scared me, because there were people far worse than me. And it really upset me that they didn't seem to be getting the support they deserved. Nurses were overworked, and there wasn't that one-to-one care, which was really important. But it was a wake-up call for me. I didn't want to end my life there. I wanted to get out. I wanted to improve. I didn't know how I was going to improve, but I wanted to do it. So what I did was I went into what was called an acute day treatment unit. There was some great characters there, like Dave Mintzer, who gave me the confidence to be me again. I did that for a month, and then I was discharged. Since then, I've been battling on and off. I'll be honest with you, it has not been easy. Just a few days ago, I didn't sleep for 72 hours, and those negative thoughts started to crash back. It was ruling over my mind. I felt very suicidal. But it was a wake-up call. I'm now happy to say that compared to where I was in May 2018, I might not be perfect, but I've been very honest with people, and the vast majority of people have been incredibly supportive. I'm so lucky with the friends and family I have. I'm blessed. And you know what? I've also found out who my friends are. And to those who said it's an embarrassment to have a mental health illness, that you shouldn't talk about it. And yes, I have received comments like that. You're the haters. You don't understand. And you're not my friends anymore. And I know who my real friends are. So what's my message for Time to Talk taking place today? Well, I'm with you here today. I'm smiling. I can laugh. I can write. I can do videos like this. And it shows you, however hard your position is with mental health, whether you're in the pits of despair, there is support out there. And the most important thing is to talk. I bottled it all up. It was a tsunami starting at the bottoms of my feet, going right up to my head. I let it get too much. I refused to enter into treatment. I was embarrassed. I thought there was something wrong with me. And there really wasn't. It's just an illness like anything else. So please do talk. Please talk to independent people. Get in touch with counsellors. Get in touch with great organisations like Mind. They do incredible work. And also look into courses. There's a lot of courses now which are free being run around mindfulness, for instance, which is really helpful in giving you balance in our very busy lives. Not just that, you can also get help from your GP. Medicine's a part of that. There's nothing to be ashamed for taking medication. I myself take venlafaxine of 150 milligrams, and it's helped. You can't just do it with medication alone or counselling alone. You need to have a wholesale approach to your treatment. And the medication can help ensure that you're taken out of a crisis situation, and the counselling can help you deal with the underlying causes of whether it's depression or anxiety. And do talk to your friends and family. A problem shared is a problem which becomes much easier to deal with, and you'll be amazed by the response. I remember speaking to my dad, and he said 30 years ago, if you had sort of mental health illnesses, it was just swept under the carpet. And I'm not saying we're perfect now, but compared to that, we are a lot better. I mean, no one looks at Marcus Scofield, one of England's best cricketers, and says that person has depression. They talk about he had depression. No, they talk about an incredible cricketer who was so brave to talk about his depression. No one looks at Ruby Wax and says, oh, she just goes on about depression. No, they talk about a person who's a great comedian and has sparked so much knowledge about mindfulness. So, if you're watching this video and you're in a bad place, there's help out there. Remember, you are loved. Remember that as a man, it's very important to believe in positive masculinity. Show your emotions. Be proud of who you are. Don't be afraid to ask for help. And that also applies to women as well. And finally, remember, it's your human rights at the end of the day to have as good a life as possible. We should treat those with mental health in a way we would want to be treated if we were in that situation. So please do share this video. Please do, if you know of friends and families who are suffering, go to the house and have a cup of tea with them. Listen to their problems. I know it's not easy, but you can't just stand on by whilst people are suffering.